from homeless to home ownership, veterans should not have to suffer because agents don't know how to connect a homeless veteran with real estate, but it goes together. A homeless veteran with resources can rent an apartment depending on the resource they have. It could be a HUD VASH voucher. It could be any SSVF form of resource. It could be anything. It could be a pre-approval. When I tell people veterans have resources to move, all it takes is for a realtor to know how to use those resources. That's basically it. That is it in a nutshell. I've been housing homeless veterans for 22 plus years as a realtor. Uh-oh, y'all can't see my whole landscape back there. I wanted you to see my army picture up here. I wanted you to see my realtor logo here and the army logo here and all of some of my awards from this year, the proclamation from the senator. I'm in Woman's World magazine. I'm just in a whole lot of stuff. I can't even keep track. But my main purpose, my main focus is not on me and the awards. It's on serving these homeless veterans nationwide. My name is Yvette Jones Swanson, and I am the National Veterans Homeless Housing Advocate, Realtor, and Business Consultant. Because I get a lot of people who say that I want to do veterans housing. I've seen so much veterans housing in the past 22 consecutive years, plus 22 years. I've set up housing for all types of arrangements for veterans to live. And it's after COVID, the landscape changed. In addition to me catching COVID really, really badly and having a stroke after that, my business didn't look the same. My landscape changed. So how now can I present what I've been doing for the past 22 plus years and 13 consecutive years conducting resources at the vet centers, the Jesse Brown VA, Cook County Corrections, Federal Bureau of Prisons. Look, I even have a badge that the VA vetted me for. Fingerprint, background check, you name it. I had to do it in order to get this badge. This badge says volunteer. But as a volunteer, my MOU stated what I was doing there at the VA. What was I doing at the VA? I'm a realtor. What? I'm a realtor with a captive audience every single month, sometimes 4 times a month. And this is the book that I wrote for that workshop. This is a Veterans Buying Real Estate Guide for Today's Market and Investing. This is the 3rd edition. That's what I was doing at the VA. That's what I was doing at the vet centers and municipalities, taking a team there, educating veterans on their resources and benefits. And if they don't have them, we would help navigate them to those resources and benefits. Everybody was at my workshop, just like everybody who you will need in the publications. Let me just show y'all my publications right here, my babies. This right here is a series of publications that I wrote for the veterans community. It is U.S. Military Veterans Educational Resources Guidebook series right here. And this is not all of them, because in 22 years, let me tell you, I have never shared. I didn't have time for you. Only time that I had was for the homeless veterans. And it pretty much came in this order. It really did. But I had time for everybody. I was a single mom, so I had time during the day when they were in school to work in my business as a realtor housing homeless veterans. And when they got out of school, my time was with them. When they went to sleep, I worked on paperwork took a shower and went to bed. That was my whole life for years. And then I had a heart attack. Still working with homeless veterans in the hospital bed. I'm like, God, you didn't take me, you didn't keep me. So I guess I'm here doing what you're having me do. So now that that's over, I'm no longer at the VA. I'm no longer conducting workshops at the VA because of the new administration came in and fired everybody. And I told you I was a volunteer. My badge says volunteer. They even let go some volunteers, and I was one of them. And I'm like, how are you going to let me go? And these homeless veterans are still going to come in here homeless. Who's going to navigate their path to home? Really, who's going to do that? Who's helping them find home? Who's helping them? So what they do, they'll call me or email me to say that we have a homeless veteran. I'm like, and what? I've got other things that I'm doing now. If they fall into the criteria that I can serve them, then I can serve them. Otherwise, you guys are going to have to learn this. You're going to have to learn this. So I'm in the community to teach how to work with homeless veterans in whatever situation they're in. And nobody's asking you to do this for free. I just got a message right before I came online from a not-for-profit organization CEO to tell me she wanted to speak to me because she's starting a volunteer group of realtors to go into the community to help homeless veterans. Well, this is the book they will need, because otherwise they're not going to know how to house a homeless veteran. Who knows that? Because if they knew how to do it, if any of you knew how to house the homeless veterans, especially the ones who say, I want to house homeless veterans, wouldn't you be doing it? I mean, it's a question. I can't hear you, so I'm just going to answer for you. Because you say you want to house homeless veterans, I believe you would want to do that if you had the knowledge. Well, look no further. Go get some books and gain the knowledge. That's basically what you have to do. Today was very busy. The wrap up of my day, it started off at 8:30 this morning. I had a meeting with an investor who initially said she wanted to sell. Okay, I got that. Okay. Then she missed that meeting, and the next one came. She wants to rent. I'm like, okay, I got that. So now what do you really want to do? Because I threw in another option, and that was veteran shared housing models. So what do you really want to do? You want to sell, which you say you don't have enough time for that. You want to rent HUD VASH. That's going to take about 4 to 8 weeks. Or do you want to fill your house up and do shared living, and we can get that done in about 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, it's up to you. So she was like, oh, I got some work to do. Well, yeah, get the book so you can read and understand how veteran shared housing really works. Because people, and I get messages a lot. Oh, I got a message today. Yeah, last night, it started last night with the young lady here on TikTok. Hey, TikTok. And she was asking me some things, and I'm like, oh, please. Oh my God. You know, we perish for lack of knowledge. I know I do. I don't have all the answers, and none of us have all the answers. So that's why we have to go and seek to be approved. Seek the answers, get the knowledge to be approved for what you say you want to do. People say that, will you mentor me? Well, yeah, after you've gained some knowledge, really, you get a book. You say you want to do veteran shared housing, then go buy a book and learn that. And then when you write down your questions, you can schedule an appointment with me so we can have a meeting. And I also have a private group for those who are interested in doing veteran shared housing. I share with you where to get the money from. largest obstacle that shared housing, veteran shared housing model owners struggle with is where to get the money from. They tell me, I go to social workers. Hold on, I'm going to talk about social workers too. I have a book to train them. I've trained social workers, case managers, human care professionals, first responders for years, at all of these organizations and Jesse Brown VA for years. When the former President Barack Obama reenacted the homeless housing bill for veterans. And they're like, oh, I don't know how to find veterans housing. I just graduated from college and moved back home with my parents. I never had to find housing for myself. So how can I find it for somebody else? Well, here you go. Here's the training. And back then I didn't have this book. I sat down with each and every social worker to train them on not veteran shared housing. That's one component, but just train them how to work in the community collaboratively with housing professionals, with realtors. Got a book for that too, because I'm a realtor. I've got to train my realtors, with investors, with people, with property managers, because how do you engage this conversation? Hello, my name is Yvette. May I speak with the property manager? Hey, how are you? Yes. Oh, that's great. My name is Yvette Jones Swanson, and I am a veterans realtor. This is me talking now, okay? Not a social worker. I am a veterans realtor. Okay, and I'm looking for housing. I see that you have several units that would benefit the veteran population who I'm serving right now. And that's all 1 bedrooms. Oh, okay, good. We love that. What's your rental criteria? Well, we look for a credit check, background check, and da. Okay. And that's for everybody, right? Yeah, that's for everybody. Okay, well, thank you. Well, you know what? That ain't going to work. You want to know why that's not going to work? It's simple. And we didn't even have to go any further, because I would never ask another realtor or property management company or anybody else who is in real estate with the license to do anything illegal, and asking them to not run a credit report or credit check or background check on the homeless veteran because we want a preferential treatment. You couldn't do that. So this wouldn't work. Because if you run credit for all of these people and you don't run credit for this homeless veteran, now you have discriminated against all these people. You don't want to do that. That's a class action lawsuit. So now I go out into the community, the smaller properties that have a mom and pop. This is way back in the day, but it's still a practice that can be done today, because it is a law that you have to have. If it's so many units or more, you have to have a placard on your property, who to contact. Who are you going to contact? There's a phone number. It could be an address. Typically, it's a phone number and the company's name, like Bridgeport Housing and the phone number, or Bridgeport Management and the phone number. But I always look for like a mom and pop, because they're more flexible. And that's how it went. And then other investors back in 2008, 2009, all the way through 2012, 13, when properties were going into foreclosure, and these owners had fixed up these properties to sell. So they were condo ready, and all of them accepted HUD-VASH vouchers. What else were they going to do? Everybody was foreclosing, and they didn't want to rent to anybody who had recently foreclosed. You couldn't afford the house that you just bought that was 2 times the amount that it was worth anyway. And now you want to come and rent from me? Nope. Yvette, I want guaranteed pay. So that's how all of those 5,000 homeless veterans were housed. In addition to that, if they had a voucher and the unit was not ready, then they would go to someone's transitional housing. And I worked with 4 owners, two of them beautiful. I mean, just immaculate. The other two, Yvette, I want to do it. I want to do it. Okay, come on. It had to be maybe 3 months later, you're pulling your hair out because this is work. This is work. And in order for you to be effective in this community, you have to learn what you need to learn. And that's why I put these publications together. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns? Oh, let me see. Nothing over here. Huh. So what happened today? So that young lady, so I'm just waiting for her. She ordered the books. So because her and her cousin said they both want to learn. And so the big win today, let me tell you, everybody's saying, I want to do veterans housing, and the social workers aren't calling me back. I went to the VA and the social workers not calling me back. Well, if it's not the social worker's job, or they have no knowledge of, or who are you? So if you're doing veterans supportive housing and transitional housing, you're going to need to get this book. You ask me a question and it's in this book, I'm just going to refer you right back to the book. And if that's what you want to do, you get the book and you show me that you purchased the book, I'll put you in my private group. And that's why I really show these private owners of transitional housing where the money is. So here in Illinois, for the year 2025, this is the list of emergency and transitional housing providers. So they get, this is 87 of these providers on this list. So now a social worker could have this list and you could be on this list as well because you're working with the Illinois Department of Human Services or the Texas Department of Human Services if they have a list like this or wherever you are. Then you say, okay, that I've got my transitional housing unit set up and I am ready for veterans. Where are the veterans? Where can I go get veterans? My housing is set up. So we're going to do that way before you get your housing set up. First of all, you'll know where the money is in your city and your town. For instance, on August 27, 2015, there was $818 million that was distributed in grants to 235 SSVF organizations right here. Now you say, well, that's a lot of money. Why do we still have homeless veterans? Because this money here is not accessible to just any homeless veteran. Did you know about it? The homeless veteran didn't know about it either. Trust me. They don't. Because these organizations don't advertise the money. They're not sending out mailers. They don't have billboards. They don't do one calls. They don't advertise. So how would a homeless veteran know where that money is? They go to the VA and those social workers who are not equipped to servicing a homeless veteran if they don't qualify for what's on their intake, like HUD VASH, basically, or their grants and per diem for the VA housing. Other than that, send the homeless veteran right back on out the door. This past Tuesday, an additional $84 million in grants went to 176 organizations. So over $900 million went to a little over 235. I keep saying I was going to add it up. So 235 plus 176. So that's 11,1124. So 411 organizations received over $900 million in our communities, state, city, and statewide to support homeless veterans. I'll tell you what this money is for, and then I'm going to show you a commercial, and we're going to leave because I am rejoining my investing community tonight. So this money is for $818 million. Is for housing and housing counseling, healthcare, financial planning services, child care, legal assistance, and transportation. These organizations need you. They need your housing. But how do you connect with these organizations if you don't know who they are? Really? So I am a realtor and I'm also a consultant. So if you want to talk to me about that, get a book first. Please. I just don't have conversations with unknowledgeable people, because at that point you want me to tell you everything that's in a book. I don't do that. That's why I wrote the books. And I'm saying this because this is what actually happens. Well, I only have 2 questions. Okay, 2 questions. The first question shows me you don't know anything. Nothing. And I will advise you, I'm going to tell you where to go, and you can take it or you can leave it. It's up to you. And this just happened. Literally, it just happened. Get some education, get some knowledge before you start opening your mouth telling people what you want, because you don't even know how to get the money. Somebody sent me over, this was on LinkedIn. Somebody sent me over, I forgot which platform it was, but can you help me find a grant writer? Okay, so I asked a few questions. Oh, you don't know anything. Huh? You're new to everything. Well, you don't need a grant writer right now, because you may not even be grant ready. Do you know what it is to be grant ready? A lot. I received 3 grants, and those were one $10,000 grant. That one wasn't too difficult. I just had to write a lot, like a thesis. Like, what does VetMentors do? Who does VetMentors service? What's the impact in the community that VetMentors? What's your background? I mean, it just went in. I'm like, I feel violated in some of these questions, but I answered them, and I was awarded a $10,000 grant for VetMentors, another $3,750 grant, another $500 grant, 5 grants, $750 to $500, then another $1,100 grant. And those weren't even government grants. Those were private foundations. So you say you want to be grant ready with grants.gov, and you don't know how to navigate sam.gov. So my final thing was, send me your capability statement. Oh, you don't have a capability statement? So then that means your DSBS isn't set up correctly, because in your DSBS, that's where your capability statement goes, and it's attached to your website. So when they click it, it'll go straight to your website, and they can print it off if they want to as a PDF. So yeah, so before you go and talk about spending money with the grant writer who will take your money, some of them are very unscrupulous. They'll take your money and you won't get anything because you're not grant ready. So that's the conversations I had today. And finally, I am on 2 committees at the Main Street Organization of Realtors. I'm on the Professional Standards Committee, and I am on the Consumer Outreach Task Force. And I decided to join these 2 committees. First of all, the Professional Standards Committee. As a realtor of who specializes in homeless veterans housing, there was a lot of discrimination, and it still is, and a lot of pushback, and a lot of policies and procedures that keep our homeless veterans with resources out of apartments that they really need. Really, they do, because they're homeless with resources. We're not asking them to give them some place to live for free. The veterans will come with a HUD-VASH voucher. They'll come with some funding from these millions of dollars to pay their rent, either transitionally or 3, 6, 9, 12 months to 24, 36, 48 months is the longest I've seen one of my veterans in a permanent, they call that permanent in place, Oh, you move there and you stay there. Transition in place. TIP, transition in place. So they're in transition. That means they're homeless and they go to an apartment and they're going to stay in place right there with the organization from these lists, paying that rent until this veteran is able to stand on 10 toes again. So that's what I've been doing today. Oh, but the reason I joined Professional Standards again is because I was getting a lot of, just unnerving pushback, and I don't even know what words to use on what other realtors were doing and telling me. And just saying, my investor, my client doesn't want Section 8. My client, his apartment isn't approved for Section 8. And I'm like, how the heck do you know? And the moving papers haven't even been submitted. You won't know if it's approved or not until we submit the moving papers and we get an inspection. So right there is telling me you don't know what you're talking about. So sometimes I would give them the answers and now go back and tell this to your investor and come back and communicate with me. I put a date stamp so I can know to contact you again, a reminder. Some of them just came out and said, no, he's not going to do that. Well, we have this little red flag, and the flag is to report actions of our realtor colleagues. And I'm like, report all day. And that's when I said, you know what? I'm not going back on the MLS to ask these realtors for anything because they don't know. They don't know how the process works. So this is the second time I'm going into the classroom to teach realtors how the process works. And let me see, the what's the other one? The outreach, the community outreach. I just like being in the community, educating, talking to people and seeing what people have on their minds. So that's why I joined that one. And we only meet like 4 times a year, community outreach. Professional standards, that could be any day because realtors are getting in trouble every single day because they don't want to read the code of ethics. I read that when I was on the committee the first time. I'm like, ooh, I saw myself in some of those. And then it just had to make some minor corrections and changes. I want to thank you all for being here today. Went a little bit over. I know yesterday I went over by an hour. I was a chatty Cathy yesterday. Thank y'all for watching. I'll see y'all on here tomorrow. Let me grab my glasses so I can play y'all a nice outro. Do I have anything different? Oh, here's a nice one. I don't know if
Yvette Jones, you and I had a great
just wonderful.
Holy moly. I mean, she is like, listen, if you guys don't know Yvette, you guys should go follow her on LinkedIn. I hope we have her. I believe we do. I think we got our mentors organization on our resource database. You should go. She's doing amazing work, and she's like a one-woman.
If you had 50 Yvettes, one in every state, this problem goes away.
Yeah, it's unbelievable the work she's doing. Unbelievable.
And I just want to thank the CEO, Jim Whalen of Mission Roll Call, and the COO, Ray Whitaker of Mission Roll Call. The work I do here in the homeless veterans community has been over 22 plus years. I was once a homeless female veteran myself from the Army. And I know what to do. I've been housing homeless veterans for the past 22 plus years and have housed over 5,000 of them. I've written so many programs and saved so many lives. I know, because they tell me all the time. I was the first life I saved. Then I went back and I continue to go back because veterans don't need to be homeless. And it's such a simple fix as long as we all work together. 1, 2, 3. Thanks for watching. And thanks for that amazing recommendation. So the 1, 2, 3, and I'm like, okay, the time was running out, so I didn't say the 1, 2, 3. But the 1, 2, 3 is simple. You have a realtor, right? And the realtors go in the community and we meet investors, right? And these investors want cash flow. And then the realtor is like, hey, Yvette trained me. I'm a realtor. Hey, and I've taken her class, the Realtor's Blueprint, that was approved by the IDFPR. And I know what to do with this investor client and with this homeless veteran. This homeless veteran has the resources to pay the rent for this investor's property. So now they're in positive cash flow. I'm the realtor. I procured this transaction. I'm going to do all the paperwork, all the application, the lease, the disclosures. I'm doing all to make sure the unit is ready for inspection, make sure somebody is there for the inspection, for the Section 8 inspection. And once everything is done, I'm going to put a lease together, make sure everybody has signed the disclosures. The first thing is to tell them who I'm representing. So I usually represent, and that's the secret sauce. Get the book. Because all of my rentals are at 100% commission. Yes, so I teach you how to do that. Make a 6-figure income housing homeless veterans. As a realtor, as a housing provider, as an investor. Have an amazing evening, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. In the meantime, click like and share, follow me, go to my bio and buy some education. Why don't you? And support the cause, and let's grow this community. Oh, did I have anybody asking stuff? 6? Oh my goodness. Let me go to the board and see what questions were asked. I just glossed over y'all. How can local communities get involved in supporting veterans housing efforts? Get some education. Start with this book, Finding Home. If it's a social worker, case manager, human care professional, first responder, this book, all of my information is in the form of education in publications and books. The part about procurement is, thanks for breaking it down. Okay. You're welcome. That was just the gloss over that. Derek isn't here tonight, so he didn't talk about the procurement. This right here is simple procurement, and it's not even a contract for the investor or the shared housing model investor. That's an investor too. Yeah, so that money is totally different. Are there new federal grants coming to help with veterans homelessness? So this was the newest one. This one came out 2 days ago, and this is 84 million. And this money went to 176 organizations throughout United States. And there's money coming out for different things in the veterans community. You just got to keep an eye on it. I have mine set to alert me, because I need to know where the money is all the time. Because when somebody calls and says, I have a homeless veteran, okay, that's no problem. I know where the money is, and I know where they can move to. What's the timeline for some of these procurement improvements you mentioned? The timeline for some of these procurements improvements. I don't even know what that means. Sorry about that. Are there any states leading the way on veterans homeless solutions right now? If we have one homeless veteran, then no. We have homeless veterans in every state. There's nobody leading the way. They don't have me there yet. Are there mentorship programs for veterans transitioning to permanent housing? It could be. I have a mentorship program after you have read and educated yourself in a book. I've got a private group. Are there pitfalls communities should avoid when creating housing programs? Get the books. Get the books. I create housing programs every single day for one homeless veteran all the way up to municipalities. Get the books. And then, read the books, gain that knowledge, and use your critical thinking skills. That's what I do. That's how I teach too. How do you balance speed and quality when building housing for veterans? I don't know. I'm not a builder. Okay, so I want to thank you all for your questions. Any questions, comments, concerns over here on TikTok? If so, put your question in now so that it can go back to the bottom, because I just keep getting likes. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you. Let me see if I want to play y'all another media asset, because I've learned how to use AI to have them read letters that were sent to me years and years ago. Oh no, they're no longer here. I think I can go get it. Video file from my computer. Downloads. I don't know. And if not, then I'm just going to. Oh no. I have so many videos. Book is changing lives. It's 1080. I don't know. Untold stories. There's so much going on in this community. It's amazing. I got a lot of stuff. Oh, wait, what was that? Procurement. What is this? I don't know what that is. Anyway, thank y'all.
In the last 30 days, VetMentors has created housing plans in 12 cities across 10 states, each one a step toward dignity, stability, and hope. From Chicago to Phoenix, New Orleans to Columbia, VetMentors is on the ground, helping veterans facing eviction, living in hotels, sleeping in cars. These are not just cases. They are warriors, men and women who once served our country, now battling a new enemy, homelessness. VetMentors stands with them every step of the way. At VetMentors, every housing plan is a blueprint for hope, combining federal policy advocacy, legal support, housing connections, and even business mentorship. In New Orleans, VetMentors fought for a disabled veteran wrongly denied housing due to staffing shortages and misinterpreted federal rules, taking the fight all the way to Congress. In Illinois, VetMentors helped a veteran homeless for 3 years, already holding a VA loan approval, connect with local leads to move from hotel rooms into a real home. In Phoenix, VetMentors made sure a veteran and his service dog stayed together, securing shelter, legal aid, and a path forward. This is not the finish line. With VetMentors, it's a movement, city by city, state by state, until no veteran sleeps outside. VetMentors will not stop speaking up until every veteran has a place to call home.
Yeah, and that's how you learn. That is how you learn. How do I get back over here? All right. Now I'm going to play the outro, and I'm out here. All right, somebody from New Orleans. That's how he talks. I follow him out here. I can't even say it. I'm a city girl from Chicago. Bye for now.
Across America, too many of our heroes return home only to face another battle, the fight for stable housing. Veterans are overrepresented in the homeless population, often caught in a system that is complex, slow, and full of barriers. At VetMentors, we're changing that narrative. For over 20 years, we've been boots on the ground, not just identifying the problem, but building real solutions. That's why we created the U.S. Military Veterans Educational and Resource Guidebook series, a groundbreaking collection designed to educate, equip, and empower. These guidebooks are written not only for veterans, but also for the communities, organizations, and leaders who serve them. From step-by-step housing models to funding strategies, this series gives social workers, case managers, realtors, and first responders the tools they need to act with speed, dignity, and impact. VetMentors believes housing is not charity. It's a mission, a responsibility, and a pathway to restoring honor. Every guidebook in this series is a resource designed to make sure no veteran is left behind, and no community has to say, "We didn't know how to help." This is how we turn challenges into victories. I'm Yvette Jones Swanson, Army veteran, CEO of VetMentors LLC, and I invite you to join us in rewriting the story for America's veterans.